No.
Okay, good afternoon. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Parks, Recreation and Harbor Advisory Committee. It's October 10th. And as always, we start with introductions. I'm Ryan Robbins, I'm a committee member and chair, and we will go to my left.
John Hyatt, committee member.
Michaela Pelkey, committee member. Debbie Chandro, assistant director.
Rachel Willett, director.
And Dominic Rizzo, resident of Bangor,
Cameo appearance.
cameo period.
First on the agenda is approval of the August minutes, so I'll give everyone a chance to.
While you're
Skim
reading
over that.
them, trust that you all will. These were completely reliant on my ability to read my own handwriting from 2 months ago. So I think I've captured it. If I missed anybody that was in attendance, please say so. But I think I think I captured it.
We have a motion. Without objections, passed or approved. First real item on the agenda is Cascade Park update.
So I'm not sure if the committee about a month ago, if that council formally adopted and accepted the recently completed Cascade Park master plan. It's a landscaping plan and then a plan for us to go forward with improvements. What I've done, I'd like to just share with you, we'd like to share with you tonight. You want to take one, and I've taken a few pages out of it, the existing conditions, and then first few pages of the capital plan, and then the master plan concept in the back. So for the committee's knowledge, we ran into some leaking at the pool earlier this fall.
Cascade pool.
At Cascade Park, Cascade Park. The
Yeah.
pool,
At the bottom of the waterfall.
yeah, the bottom of the waterfall. So we were losing enough water that we had to make a decision to shut it off early. Typically, they like to keep the fountain going till about this point in October. Typically by this time, leaves start to collect and that sort of thing. So we had to shut it down early. And again, we're seeing some significant leakage out of the pool. I did want to let you know that our hope is that we can actually recoat it with a similar liner that it's coated with now. It's bed liner, truck bed liner that we did about 20 years ago, if not more than that. The pages that we have shared with you tonight are the existing conditions, and it just again highlights some of the challenges that we're having going forward. A couple of projects that we have started to work on already. You may have heard that we're going to pursue registering it with the National Park Service as a historic place. That process starts at the state level. We need to apply and become approved by the State Historic Office. They then pass that recommendation on the National Park Service, where they'll review it and either approval or not approve listing Cascade Park as a historic place. That will be a fairly lengthy process. Some city staff here have are already aware of it, and certainly will utilize other city departments as needed. The other project that was identified by our consultant that should start sooner than later, that will help us as we pursue other projects, is a topographical and boundary survey. We're currently taking proposals for that project. That was funded in this current fiscal year. And that'll actually lay out, the boundaries of the park, confirm the boundaries of the park, as well as the topography, so that we can use those documents for ongoing projects. Depending upon how the pool patching goes, we may be looking at a more significant investment to keep the fountain going. And as you can see in the initial plans that were outlined by R.S. Leonard, the mechanics of the park, specifically the pool, the fountain, the plumbing, the mechanics that go with it, the confined space where the current circulation pumps are, we may be looking at that sooner than later. We will also continue to monitor the grotto and the walls around the falls to make sure that those stay in place, and if we need to address them, we can do that. We wanted to make sure give you that update on the fountain. Certainly shutting that down early was not something we wanted to do. We still had a fair amount of weddings and other activities happening over there, but given the volume of water that we were losing, made sense to turn it off. Have I missed anything with Cascade to this point? Any questions about that? That should, if we posted that on our website yet, should be on our website along with the feasibility study and master plan. If it's not, then we'll certainly post that as well.
The other two are there right now. I'm just, yeah, we'll post this one.
How long does it take to get approval from the feds on?
I don't know. I mean, you're involving a state process with the state historical office. And then it will go to the Park Service level. The Park Service at one time had more of a New England regional office in Boston. I don't believe that is the case anymore. I think the closest regional office to this part of the world is in Philadelphia. So,
Because I was wondering if that designation carries with it some potential for grants, right?
potentially, yeah. No, I think.
In terms of like paying for some of the latter portions of
Yeah.
the rehab.
It certainly would open up certain more opportunities for sure. I would anticipate. And that aside, there is grant funding available. And I think Regina identified some possible funding sources in the entire plan. It's about a 60-page document. So we felt like, tonight's discussion, what you have there in front of you seemed to be the most pertinent, but it's a busy place, and we'll talk about events here in a second. It's a busy place, but it's got some mechanics and some infrastructure that are as old as it are original to the park. If you get a chance, if it's not on our website, we'll get it on. As I mentioned to council the night we went through the process, some of the history that R.S. Leonard found was really interesting. To see some of the old photos of when the park first was constructed.
Yeah, I think you gave that out.
Did I give that out? Yeah,
Yeah.
did I get shared with you? Okay, good. It was interesting. I found it interesting. But anything else? Hopefully the fountain will come on in the spring. Collectively, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Okay, next, Candace Extreme Trail update.
Did you have anything in particular or just?
I just wanted to listen to
Okay,
that
okay.
and the waterfront.
Okay, okay.
Nice.
Feel free to, like,
Yeah, jump in.
and, like, punch me or something.
So this started out as a PowerPoint, it's now a handout. So a couple of things as a result of the master plan that we've been working on, that I wanted to share with you, that we've been working on for a lighting project. A couple of photos there of some newly installed lighting down on Candace Stream Trail. Between our electrical division and local contractor who helped excavate the trenches and the holes for the bases. We have installed 6 of these fixtures. We have funding currently to do so, and this was identified in a couple of places in our our master plan. that we completed a few years ago. In addition to that, Livable Communities did a walking audit. The Friends of the Lower Condescate Group have also asked about lighting. These are more of a decorative nature. Certainly down along there, it's tough to use a solar application because of the growth. These particular fixtures direct the light down toward the surface. So it's not spilling light throughout, but directs it toward the trail. It's a lot brighter in these areas. The other, we did 1, 2 here, there's a third one down toward the culvert and the final picture that we'll talk about here in a second. And then there are 2 more on what I'm gonna call the Harlow Street Plaza Eastern Fire side, across the bridge. And recall, a few years ago, Electrical Division repurposed the fixtures from the William Wharf pedestrian bridge to install on the footbridge across the stream along the trail here. There continues to be funding available. The fencing is what we'll need to look at next. We will look at installing, we have more of these light fixtures and bases left. It's just the excavation down along that section of the trail is tough at best. So we went as far as we practically could. Electrical has found a possible solar fixture that might work in our benefit further down the trail. But we wanted to focus on this particular section first, and we're thinking of going further down the trail toward Valley Avenue with what fixtures we have left. Certainly would entertain feedback otherwise. So currently, the picture there on the top is looking toward Franklin Street. So there's that fixture that's closest there in the foreground in the photo is next to the parking lot behind the county. It's a county parking lot. Then down below, you'll see the bridge of Franklin Street. So it does light that section up fairly well. And then there's another one toward the culvert. And speaking of the culvert, this was a pretty significant washout to the point where the granite blocks that you see piled to the left were making their way toward the stream, and the culvert that was resting on top of them was heading the same direction. So we have a local contractor using the funding for trail repair that we've already been awarded in this current fiscal year. You will see that we've tried to bend the trail a little to the left as you're looking at it in the photo to hopefully mitigate some of the runoff that's coming from up above, rerouting that runoff and installing new stone and culvert. Just hasn't been back to finish. We tried to get something done in anticipation of the St. Joseph's Commit to Community event that was a couple of weeks ago. They used that portion of the trail for running their event.
Is there any discussion on with the addition of the lights of maybe having a couple of security cameras scattered about?
That could be possible. And that was some of the other feedback we have heard from the folks group. So now that we have power down there, that was the first challenge is power. So there might be an opportunity in different locations to actually put in some hardwired security cameras and add them to the listing of cameras we have now. The conduit is in the ground, so that's an IT question about the fiber, if indeed we do that, or something that is more remote but still needs power. So we've been able to, again, have power from the Court Street County parking lot all the way over to the bridge, and then it extends as far as the lights on each end. So that certainly is a possibility. Certainly is a possibility.
Because I think that would, the addition of the lights is gonna make people feel a little
for sure.
safer.
Yep, for sure.
And then if we could have some kind of sense of security at least.
Yep.
Or sure. It could get more use, and then we could be on our way to getting
For sure.
making it more friendly.
Yeah, No, and the sense of it, we've said a few times that it's a great in-town, downtown amenity that you can start downtown and you take that trail out to the end of Valley Avenue, and conversely, in theory, you could follow that trail through downtown, through the plaza, connect across Washington to Broad Street, and then continue down the waterfront. So that there is a continuity there that now with some additional lighting that makes it available, especially this time of year. Especially this time of year when we change here in a few weeks. So hopefully this helps. And we'll try to extend it a little further as we can. And if we indeed were able to use a solar option, that certainly saves having to run electrical wire for the electrical posts. These decoratives were fairly inexpensive compared to other decorative fixtures we have around the city. Directed the light downward, so it's not spilling up into the growth and upward. And it's a really nice bright light.
Certainly is an asset, wonderful asset
Yeah.
as a volunteer with folks. It's wonderful being there early in the morning, actually.
Yeah.
So it's great connectivity, as you said, and I think hopefully in the future, as we do more and more to it, more people will want to use it.
We're, and it goes back to the plans that we've been working on, that we've shared with you all, that those plans have been very much working documents for us. Many of the projects that we identify are from those plans, and together with the efforts of folks, keeping a regular routine down there, it certainly has made some improvements. We've got some fencing work to do. We're gonna go back to the footbridge, get some replanking to do on the footbridge. So certainly there's multitude of projects down there that can always be worked on.
Update on kiosks?
Update on the kiosk.
You got that?
Oh, the Trailhead kiosk? Yeah, that's another project. Oh, the UMaine project. So, thank you. That's what I got. So the University of Maine, and specifically, a gentleman named Liam Reardon approached the city about redoing the historical kiosks down there. So we brought the group, they've been to the Cultural Commission and Government Operations Committee. And there is a group of UMaine students who indeed will be presenting and finishing new concepts to replace those informational kiosks. We know what, you remember what we're talking about there? You walk along the stream, there are a few left, concrete bases with reading panels, talks about the history at different points of the stream. For example, around the Flour Mill area, Lover's Leap, there's one down here in the plaza downtown. So that group, it's part of a capstone project for them. And Liam's history group, they're calling it Municipal Public History. It's been interesting because many of the students are enthused about the project. When he first mentioned it to them, they were very enthusiastic about something like this, very different. A few of them had not been downtown before. So that was a good first informational piece for them. They did a walking tour of the stream trail with Matt Bishop from the Historical Society. So they've got a good start. They're gonna have the concepts hopefully done by December. And then again, using some of the funding that we have, start replacing some of those informational kiosks that have been along the stream for a number of years. They're in disrepair. They've been down there. That was a project, well, at least 20 years ago. Everything's 20 years ago now to me, so 20 years ago.
And, maybe in the future, we could add QR codes where someone could get like an audio tour, if you will.
So,
I take it that that's come up.
it has come up on the Paul Bunyan signs, which I did mention here, so those would be left to be installed in front of Paul Bunyan. But that project was stalled because of the QR code, so it was going to take you to the song that was written about Paul Bunyan. And for whatever reason, the code would run out, it'd have to be redone, and it wasn't, and there was no place to host the song that would take you to, so we decided to move on from the QR code from that. Years ago, we had Stumps that did that. You'd sit in and they talked to you, but that was a long time ago. Long time ago.
Add in for Paul Bunyan,
Yeah, right.
Stephen King's It. Any comments?
No.
All right, waterfront event season discussion.
So it's been a busy season on the waterfront, and busy season permit wise, in general. We did a kind of a quick sum of the event permits that we have issued through our office, and I was astounded at this number. I don't know if you knew this or not. We've issued about 470 event permits for different places through the city. So the waterfront has been a busy place. In particular, that has been a huge success, and we weren't quite sure how it's gonna work the first time, has been the night market. If you have not been to the night market, the waterfront from the Harbor Master Building down to the corner of the bulkhead is full of artesian vendors, different types of local artisans, either here in the area or around the state. And I'm gonna forget the marketplace that they just moved over to the Comscott Plaza. Organizes these. We did 3 of them, and they're gonna come back for another. They already wanna schedule events for next year. So that was a welcome surprise. Certainly it goes back to the size of events down there during the American Folk Festival and some of the other festivals that we've had down there. We couldn't quite get it to time up with an American Cruise Line stop. But certainly it was a new destination for a lot of folks down there. And it was good to see, just something different that we can do down there. A few weeks ago, we were able to have a couple of events in the same day that worked out well, and we've done that before down there. So it continues to be a busy event space as well as space for citizens to enjoy every day. The food truck season went well. And again, there are already 7 shows coming to the amphitheater next summer and more to come. So we're getting asked for dates on the waterfront already. And having the park ranger program and having someone be able to make that Harbor Master Building available as anytime the ranger is on duty certainly has helped. And we've just added another individual today, so we'll, although it's late in the season, we have 2 seasonal rangers, and it looks like Sundays might be his day, so that'll have us someone down there 7 days a week. We have a follow-up meeting with American Cruise Line. I don't know if any of you noticed, I don't know if we talked about this in August. There were a few occasions where American Cruise Line was up here twice in the same day, at least one time, 2 boats on the dock at the same time. Which was an interesting picture, so we have a meeting with them in a couple of weeks to kind of wrap up the season and look forward to 2025. It's a busy place to have Cruise Line there on the dock, concert in the amphitheater, or Cruise Line on the dock, an activity on the waterfront. It's really a great amenity to have. And if you haven't been down to the new end, way down toward 395, that again extends the paved, lit walkway the entire length of the waterfront now. And we will maintain that year round as we always have. When that stuff starts to fall and becomes snow.
I recall years ago when we took over the event permits, probably what, 10, 12,
Everything's 20 years ago now.
14 years, it can't be, I've been here 16, so.
16 years.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was
16,
10, we'll go with 10.
I think it's more like 12 or something, 14, when we took it over. I mean, there was probably no more than 10 events within the city and 10 to 400 something. That just tells you how things have changed. You know, that's from weddings to the market to, you know, reunions and anything and everything. It's pretty neat to see that all happen.
Are the organizers of the fireworks, were they happy with the location?
The organizers of the fireworks were happy with the location. The organizer, so it's the Kiwanis that organizes the 4th of July events here. The year prior, if you recall, in an effort to try and launch larger shells, which go higher, they split the show between the waterfront and Bass Park. That wasn't received very well. So they regrouped and did the entire launch from the waterfront, which I think, from what I have heard, was a much better scenario.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah. Like a lot of organizations, membership is declining, so they're in a regrouping all the way around. About the 4th of July, they still will be on for the parade. I think you'll see the pieces of that day that were organized by one group may get split up amongst 2 or 3 groups another year.
I do have one comment on the fireworks, and that was that a few days, actually, I think it was like a week or 2 later, I did see some remnants of the labels and stuff that could have been a little bit better picked up.
Yep, no, fair. That is on the fireworks company, so we'll make sure they do that another year.
I mean, it wasn't anything huge, but it was scattered about at first.
While at the waterfront, it's interesting how this came back as well. Just observation and anecdotally, we felt like we were down in dock reservations. In fact, we did better revenue wise this year than last by about $500. So the docks are getting used as well. And recall, for the first time, we had a mooring dock out in the river. That was a bit more labor intensive than initially had planned. When you're trying to launch moorings against the tide, it doesn't work out so well. But Dock 6 has been in the water since the middle of summer. And we are using floats that will allow us, if we want to add on to it pretty easily without having to launch another set of moorings. There's a couple of Jersey barriers in the bottom of the river that are holding that in place, so there should be plenty of mooring to add on to the current float. The docks will start to come out next week. Dock 5 will start to come out next week, and then we'll work our way upstream for the season.
I ask, I'll make a couple of comments.
Yeah, sure.
This question. Well, I agree about the fireworks. It was quite obvious that we had a lot of fireworks because that trail there was very littered.
Okay,
with it,
no, that's good
but
to
that's
know.
not why I'm here. Well, first of all, the main artisan market, if you haven't really been, it's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
fun. A lot of food trucks and a lot of
Yeah.
just fun things. As far as the, let's see, the Adirondack chairs, those plastic
Yeah.
Adirondack chairs, I have to say, the times that I've been there, if they seem to be used, and I used them when I was
Yeah.
there, and I have to tell you, it's probably, even though they were cheap plastic chairs, they were probably one of the more comfortable places to be on the waterfront, where the parking lot, where the food truck, like under a tree. So I would recommend that we continue that, and if it's successful, could we maybe look into at some point putting permanent Adirondack chairs, maybe bolted to the ground? But just because mausoleum type benches, I'm sorry, they pay respect to people and I appreciate their donations, but they're not good to sit on.
Yeah, no,
And the other benches further down, they're just not, sometimes you just don't want people walking within 2-3 feet of you, in front of you. So if you set back a little bit, so I just recommend
oh, for sure.
continue the plastic
Yeah.
Adirondack chairs, and if we could ever do permanent ones and or swings, by that parking lot
Swing,
area.
Yeah,
Well, you know, Belfast
Belfast.
I was just gonna say
has
Belfast, yeah,
benches
that.
on
You haven't
swing.
been, I mean.
yeah,
next
I mean, I will
week,
say those chairs, I feel like have been a success. I've seen people like using them all the time.
good.
Even down by the, what's the dock at the very beginning where people fish.
Oh,
I
no,
noticed
yeah.
there were like 2 or 3 there where
Yeah.
people were fishing and sitting on it. So I mean, I think they were, I mean, people were complaining on one Facebook page about they're gonna be ending up in the drink.
Mhm.
But I think, haven't taken count yet, but I think not all of them have been.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
there's,
I appreciate that. No, it's,
so I love them.
that was kind of a cross our fingers and hope for the best when we did that a few years ago. And I'm glad to hear they're getting used.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we did the least expensive route for a couple of reasons, as you said, in case we did lose some. People can move them easily.
Mhm.
The swing I had, that's a good idea.
Belfast,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, in other places,
Everybody's
but
just. doing-
Portland.
Yeah,
But yeah, if that would get people out of their cars, like in warm, nicer type weathers, but you know, because people want to sit in their cars for different reasons, but like, I think you could draw them out a little bit
Yeah.
more.
yeah.
The Harbor Master Building, any plans on maybe upgrading the bathrooms at
Yeah.
all?
So, that's a good question, and yeah, the harbor master bathrooms, need some attention.
And I want to say it was a big
Yeah.
plus to have it open, during the daytime. And I'm sure a lot of other people felt that way, so that was great to have that as an option.
We have a contractor that actually, then we'll get to it till November, is going to redo the back deck. We have to take a look at the front deck. And, yeah, the bathrooms could be added to that list as well. The back deck and the whole barn door thing, we gotta take a look at that. So you gotta replace the back deck on the harbor master building anyway, so could be a good project to work on in the winter. We still leave the power on down there. We just have to disconnect the water because of cold.
Right.
That could be an opportunity over the winter to at least do some things down there.
It has so much potential, and also in the foyer area, it looks like at one point, there are areas for brochures, so maybe coordinating with the chamber and or
Yeah.
Downtown Bangor Partnership to fill them up, because people are going in there, so let's have some updated information about whatever.
Mhm.
That was years ago when the CVB exists, that was CVB function, they're going on a regular basis, replenish those, and certainly, yeah, you're right, that's been kind of dropped the last few years, so.
So that
We
would
need to bring
be,
it back.
and, let's see. Oh, the food truck area, any chance down the line that maybe have some umbrellas, like if it's like a July, August day where it's really
You're not the first one that's asked us about shade down there.
1 or 2?
Yeah, no, umbrellas for the food truck area, ideally, it'd be nice to be able to do some sort of canopy, I don't know practically if that's feasible, but certainly some umbrellas. Are easy enough to put in down there, and it's much like the Adirondack chairs, we hope for the best, and,
Right.
I think, yeah, that's an easy one down there.
Is there any chance of like having one of those storage bins there? So maybe one of the food truck
Yeah.
people might even volunteer to put them
Yeah.
out in the
Yeah.
morning and then take them back. I mean, whether
Sure.
it means taking them in and the chairs could go in there maybe, or, whatever.
We can figure something out, no,
So-
we've been asked about shade down there, it can, yes, probably can be kind of oppressive in July and August.
Just a bit.
Middle of the day.
And lastly, I was just curious about the American Cruise Line because were they porting out of here?
Yes.
Or they were?
So,
Okay.
they started this year this season for the first time, a cruise out of Bangor.
What day?
They were typically they varied actually, they varied.
That's it.
So what's interesting about American Cruise Line, yes, they have their designated stops. This year, it was a cruise that would start here or end here. They're gonna look at their cruises off the coast over the winter. from what feedback we got, the Portland and Bangor cruises were kind of passing each other out in the open, so they're gonna try and clean that up a little bit. In addition to that, and it's product of what's happening offshore, I mean, certainly the events, recent events. It is not uncommon for us to get a call, hey, can we come up tomorrow?
Mhm.
To get out of the weather. For example, when the two boats were here at the same time, there was a significant surf offshore. So they would rather come up here to get out of that, and they have their own buses now, so if they were gonna go Bar Harbor, Bucksport, Belfast, that way, they have a harbor stop planned, it's easier for them to come up here, put people on the bus and head down that way, so. They have used Bangor quite often, A, for their own cruises. And B, if they have issues offshore that they wanna get out of, they come up here as kind of a safe haven.
Mhm.
So yeah, they were here a lot,
Oh, good.
they were here a lot.
I was just missing them on those.
Yeah.
I only saw the ship once.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's no consistent every day, every week, same day.
Mhm.
There were Thursdays, they would leave on Saturday, sometimes it was Tuesdays. It really kind of varied.
Mhm. Great, I'm
Yeah, I
glad to hear
think there
that.
was one night, did Kenny Chesney come here? Yeah,
Yeah,
where they were birthed there, and it was kind of cool to see all the activity.
we had
that
a
night.
couple of nights. Days of concerts, so it takes some maneuvering for us to allow their motor coach buses to access the dock. There's that 2 to 5, 2 to 6 window that one of our concerts has the parking lots. So they manage the access to those, but still allowing their motor coach buses to come back and forth. There was some maneuvering this summer to make that all happen, Activity's not a bad problem to have sometimes.
Mhm.
One last
Yeah,
question.
sure.
Does any of the money from the waterfront concerts, is it dedicated towards the upgrade or maintenance of the waterfront?
So the revenue for waterfront concerts, it's been this way since the beginning, goes directly into our park maintenance to help offset the cost of park maintenance to the general fund. So yes, it's not dedicated to capital projects, but it's dedicated to the overall operation of the park maintenance division, of which they're the ones that take care of the waterfront amongst everything else in the city.
Now, wasn't that like $2 per ticket or?
So
In the
waterfront
past.
concert, it's $1.57 this year.
Okay,
So the way that works, yes, we settle after every show with them. And their rent is based on a per ticket basis per show. So the larger shows, there's more insurance, but it's that same dollar amount per ticket per show. That goes into the park maintenance division.
Thank you.
any other comments, questions, suggestions? Grievances? All right, Deb, you're up, recreation program overview.
Okay. Last time we met, there was a whole lot on summer and we went through everything on summer, so I'm gonna pass that on to next year.
It was a great summer.
It was a great busy summer. And pool wise, we're still closing it down. So if you want me to say the word pool, we're still shutting it down. So for this year, right now we have a youth soccer program going on. We have quite a bit of fall stuff going on, and winter is being put up on the website right now. Our youth soccer is pretty much every day of the week except Sundays, and we have over 300 kids, actually over 400 kids participating in our youth soccer program. That's multiple different things though. We have kindergarten, first grade. We did something a little different this year, is our kindergarten, first grade program, instead of putting games on Saturdays because of all of our soccer programs are based, our games are based and practices out of Union Street Complex. Our Union Street Complex is 4 softball fields with 2 large soccer fields, which can host field hockey and lacrosse and other things. So that's where our youth soccer program is held. But because we have so many kids, so many parents, and how many people come see their child play, and grandparent and cousin and brother that come see this one child, the parking lot gets really full. And the crossover between a 1 soccer game, K1s, and 2, 3s, second and third grade, it can get really packed in there. And so we try our best to kind of stagger when games are, so there's time. You know, we ask parents to wait 5 minutes before your time to play before you show up, because the other game ends 15 minutes. And then they have 5-10 minutes to leave, and then we have them come in. And we still have to limit how many games are going on at the same time, because if you have too many games, and there's too many teams and too many families that are there, and the parking lot gets full. And then Union Street, we don't like parking on Union Street. It's a busy road. We don't want kids on there or anything like that. So where I'm getting at with that is when we had so many games on Saturdays, it was just a really long day because of staggering. So this year we tried putting kindergarten, first grade games on Tuesday and Thursday nights. So one night was for the girls and one night was for the boys. And so far it has worked absolutely great. We put, because their fields are a lot smaller than regular soccer fields, we can fit them on the adult softball fields, put lines on there because we have lights. So right now when it's getting dark, we turn the lights on for adult softball, and we can still host young soccer games and practices up there. So it's been working very well. That makes our Saturdays a little bit easier, where it's not full 8 to 10 hour days of soccer, and the parking lot isn't jam packed. So for that, it is, again, there's over 300 for our kindergarten through 6th grade soccer program. But we also had a Mighty Might soccer program, which is ages 2 to 5-year-olds. And something I learned going to see that a couple weeks ago is the women's varsity team and their coach, Scott Atherley, has been running it for many years. But one thing I did learn is I've only been here for 16 years, so he probably has the answer to this and I just didn't know. Scott started this program about 22 years ago, and with his team. And you know, he had young kids. He thought it would be great because there's no program that starts at age 2 years old. And it was a huge hit. So he's been doing it with like 4 years. Around COVID time, it kind of stopped a little bit. And he took it back over, and his team, the girls on the team, they come, and we had 86 participants this year with their parents there.
And this is UMaine.
University of Maine women's soccer team, and their coach go there. And it's a phenomenal program, and the staff, the kids meaning the soccer team, the girls, they are animated, and they work so well with those little kids and the parents to get them to just love the game of soccer.
Have we been doing it that long?
I did it a few years ago with my 2 of my sons.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they had a blast. It was great.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it worked out just pretty much like you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they do. Each child gets a soccer ball, part of the program, so
Yeah.
everybody gets to take it home. They got to take it back with them to, every Monday for the program, and it's,
It was awesome. Yeah,
oh, thank you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great program. And, I know I talked to him, he's gonna continue it for as long as he's there, so it's gonna be for a little while. He just signed another contract.
Nice.
Yeah. So next, school just started, well, I shouldn't say just, but like 4 weeks ago. And, maybe 5 now. So our Kids Cave before and after school program, we got that going, and we have right now just over 100 kids participating in the program. We have, and out of that 100, there are about 75 of them that are doing both before care and after care. So they're doing the whole thing, which is called the whole enchilada, which is really cool. And so again, there's over 100 kids that are in a before and after school program. We still have openings. So if anybody needs childcare before school or after school, or both, or school vacation days and snow days, we are open all the time. So we have a program available for pretty much anybody that is a Bangor resident that goes to our school, public school system. And the reason why we do that is because we use a SEER bus that goes to our public schools to come to our facility. So that's why we keep it local. Any questions so far about that? Some other program we have going on right now, we have an adult line dancing program every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that happens in our Park and Recreation Center. Very well received.
No, I don't.
Stop reading my mind.
I have a couple times.
It's fun.
it's
Many
fun.
years ago I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
Yes. It's a drop-in, so you don't have to register for the program. It's just Tuesdays and Thursdays, 10 o'clock. Anybody can come, just drop in. We have something new this year. I want to just show you guys. I handed you this little flyer. Inside, there's an insert. So every year during Halloween, we've done many different things over the years, and for the last, we used to do a Halloween party in our Parks and Recreation Center. We got so big with our kids cave, we had to kind of pull that away, and we started doing a touch a truck, trunk and treat, which was very well received, and that's been going on for years. And this year we're going a different direction, and we are doing a Halloween family dance. So you guys know we do a Valentine's dance in February, and we do a Mother's Day dance in May. And there's been a lot of feedback of putting together a family. They want their whole family there. And so this Halloween family dance is available for anybody and everybody to come. It's at the Cross Insurance Center. We are renting that. There's a DJ with music. We have a dance party, photos, snacks, food. We're gonna have a costume contest, and there's a photo booth where people can go in with their families and just take, back in the day, I guess, maybe I'm old, you can go to photo booth, you get those little pictures that keep on going down. We have that there, but we also have a professional photographer that will take pictures of you and your family for purchase on those. So that is happening on October 25th, which is a Friday night, at the Cross Insurance Center, and tickets are available at the Parks and Rec Center, where we're hosted on Main Street. So that's new for this year. Other things we started our very popular preschool open gym. We started that this week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. People have been calling. Let's get them inside now. Fall is here, as Ryan was saying. Get these families and kids. It's free for any toddler and their family to come in. We have lots of toys and balls and scooters. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 9:30 to 11:30. It's just a place to socialize and
Get some energy out.
get some energy out, then go home and let your child take a nap. Couple other programs. If Leah was here, she's hosting a free fun day Sunday for field hockey for anybody and everybody, which are grades K through 8th, and this is starting this upcoming Sunday. There's 3 different levels, and which are age groups, and it's Sundays 11 to 12 or 12 to 1. Check out our website to see which one you fit in. And you do have to register, but it is free.
And that is at Cameron.
Yes.
Basketball. Travel basketball, we just had tryouts last Sunday. So that registration is done. Teams are being formed right now. Travel basketball is a program that is run. There's an organization out there called EMBBL, Eastern Maine Basketball League. They put on the program, and communities have to enter teams into the league. So we go by their rules and how they operate. It's a great program. We have 8 teams, and the grade and age levels are 3rd and 4th grade, 5th and 6th grade, and 7th and 8th grade. Again, it's travel. They travel up to 150 miles There's a lot more teams getting involved in this league, all the way from Belfast to Holton. It is Eastern Maine. It might sneak a little bit out of Eastern Maine, but it needed to be accepted through the members, and everybody's good with that. And it even goes to Machias. But we also host a in-house basketball league, so anybody who did not want to play travel can play in-house, and we start that at 2nd grade and goes all the way to middle school to 8th grade. And right now, we probably have over 40 or 50 registered for our 2nd and 3rd grade, because that's the first one. That's starting in about 3 weeks from now. So 2nd and 3rd grade, it's time for them to register now for house. Other just little things I'm gonna mention, we have a baton twirling program. It's called Maine Twirling Corporation. We have a Learn to Skate. Our ice is in at Sawyer Arena. Season has started. Zamboni is running, and the ice has stayed hard. I don't know how thick it is though,
Plenty thick,
plenty thick.
plenty thick.
So Learn to Skate is up and not running yet, but it's up on the website to start registering to learn how to skate, something that I'm not gonna register for.
You do it, I'll do it.
You'll do it? No, I'm not doing it.
That sounds like a challenge.
No, I don't have skates and I don't
I'm
want.
sure they have skates there you can rent.
No, it's
We'll
not.
find
for me.
skates, we'll find skates.
No, not at all. And then a few other things, we do have an adult pickleball program. On Monday nights, drop in to go play pickleball. It's we have 3 courts that we put lines in our one gym. We put 3 pickleball courts, so it's great. It's only available until basketball starts, because then our gym, you know, we have probably 30-something basketball teams and we have one gym. We do use some of the schools, but we need our gym for that every night. So pickleball is gonna be every Monday until November, the week of the 16th, then it's gonna be done. Until after basketball's over in March, we'll start pickleball back up until summer comes and they wanna go outside. And again, that's just a drop-in fee. Couple
But
of,
that's bring your own equipment, right? Or
with both, we have some.
you do, okay.
Bring your own, but if you don't have any, we have some. There's also a basket weaving and crafts program. We have guide backpacking, weaving basket, you know, those big baskets. We have a lady who comes in and teaches all day, 9 to 5 in the all day, and she literally gives you the stuff and teaches you how to make your own basket, and very well received. We fill up, we've been doing this now for 2 years. We fill up all the time for this. So there's 3 different types of making your own. There's another farmer's market basket, and then there's one that's a giant gnomes. That's not a basket, but it's giant gnomes. That's not an 8-hour day though. So other stuff for people to look up on our website. So questions about programs?
A lot going on.
Just something else I'm gonna bring up. I don't know if any of you guys live next to Fairmount Park and seen a new fixture there.
Hayford Park.
Hayford Park, thank you so much. He knows where I was going with this. Any of you go through Hayford Park at all, see a new fixture? Okay, so, this past weekend, University of Maine fraternity approached us a couple months ago, and they have a project they need to do every year, and they decided that they wanted to do something for the city of Bangor. And it's something to get kids outside, to get them to exercise, and to get people to get together and socialize. So they came up with a Gaga ball pit, Have any of you guys heard of that? Okay, so look it up when you get home.
How do you
Picture a
spell?
dodgeball in a rink.
GAG.
GAGA, Gaga Ball Pit.
Lady Gaga is not involved in this.
No. It's
Is that Hayford Park?
It's at Hayford Park, and they
Check
built
this
it
out.
out of cedar. And they brought it all in on Sunday and put it all together. And we're putting rules together right now. We just made a sign. We just need to get it printed. We're gonna put it right there on that fence. There's a fence.
Backstop.
the backstop at Hayward Park. We're gonna put it right on there. It's a game that you play with multiple people. You get your own ball and you put it in and you just try to just hit each other and you get.
It is, it's
Is there
analogous to
field trip in the
dodgeball.
works here for the, oh, no, mind.
But-
There will be in the spring. It's something that we bought, it's so popular for kids that we bought a portable one, for our Kids Cave like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And it's taken out, it was actually out in our gym today and the kids were playing it and we don't have anything tonight in our gym, so it's getting, we're leaving it there for the kids tomorrow morning before school, just to play with it. You can have 4 kids in there, up to 24 kids in there. And play, you can even have more, I mean, depending how large the pit is, this one's pretty large. There's 8 panels of 8 feet long and it's all around, so.
So what, so this is like dodgeball?
So
Kinda.
it's,
Yeah.
as Deb described, you're in this arena and you roll it out,
Arena.
you roll it out, right?
No, no, what you do is somebody, just whoever wants to lead it, they throw this ball and it has to bounce 3 times. After 3 times, it's up for grabs for anybody. You can't grab it. You can't, you have to
Oh,
hit it
that's
with your hand
That's right.
and you try to hit it to get somebody out. If it hits you knees below, it has to be knee below, you're out, and then you step off. There's one of the 8 panels that is shorter, so you can just step out. The other 8 panels are about this high. 1 8 panel is like this.
So you can't pick
step.
it up and throw
You
it.
can't pick it up at all. You have to hit it with your hand
That's right.
or with your fist. You can't kick it, you can't do anything like that. But if it hits your foot, if someone hits it and it hits your foot, you're out. And you can't kick it. And if you hit it and it goes over the arena, I guess, you're out. You're out. Yeah.
Show them the connection that got them to us in the first place. New former employee.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have a picture on my phone. One of our Kids Cave staff is part of the fraternity.
Oh.
And.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Yeah, and so he brought it up to them and some of the people didn't know what it was. And they looked it up and saw, wow, this looks like fun. Yeah,
Well, check
Sounds
that out.
fun.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a new summer
that's
Is it
the,
all
reality
ages?
program.
Is it all ages?
Absolutely,
anybody.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recommend putting 3-year-olds and below. You know, their knees
And
down.
Michaela's gonna see a bunch of 3-year-olds and she's gonna say, can I play?
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's gonna be popular next summer when there's a lot of people at
So how,
Hayward Park.
how big is the space?
8 feet panels times 8 feet, and you just put them around. What's the diameter of that, Brian? They know it, though. This fraternity is, you should have seen their minds going,
Panels.
8 8-foot panels.
Well, it's an octagon, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you a picture after. Right.
I'm a writer, I'm not a mathematician. Any questions for Deb? Comments?
No.
Other items? Does anyone have any things they wanna discuss with Tracy or us? Does anyone have anything to put on next month's agenda?
Why is everyone looking at me?
No, I'm like,
Something,
did
so
you say
here's,
something?
We all did, just look at you.
if I may, here's something for you all to think about, and I'll send out an email to the group as well. Schedules get tough, we understand that. And think about the frequency of these meetings. We run a monthly rotation for a while. We've skipped a few. So think about how, if we wanna do quarterly, bi-monthly, like just give that some thought. Maybe we table next month, the date for next meeting until more of a group is here and I can remind me to do an email out to y'all in a couple of weeks out, of our typical second Thursday rotation. And again, looking for agenda items if you have them.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Okay. We're adjourned.
thank you all.
So no meeting next month?
That'll be TBA.
We'll touch base.
Yeah.